Hey everyone, I am here to talk about our full moon in Leo coming up Thursday afternoon around 2:30 or so. Um, this Leo full moon in the sign of Aquarius usually is always a highly creative, passionate, sexy time. It usually falls right before or around Valentine's Day. So there's a reason for that. Cupid is definitely at work. This full moon has some tense aspects, some squares between planetary energy that are going to be a little bit challenging, though. Basically, this full moon is one to guard against extremes, but especially those in a sexual nature. There is a tendency to be pushy and maybe taking risks and being too forceful and going after you want what you want. So with that, air and fire, sometimes it sparks creativity. This time around, it could be very highly flammable and combustible. So watch you're not so passionate that things burn down to the ground. Okay. And that is going to be especially seen in either pursuing new relationships, but also it's a really a time, not that it's ever a good time, but especially now you need to guard against triangular relationships. If you are in a relationship and you enter an affair at this time, or someone is doing it behind your back, it's going to end disastrously. Okay. Also, in business relationships or your work life, this is not the time to be pushy about either wanting that raise or extra paid time off or a promotion, because you're going to get a lot of pushback against it. Um, you know any so there again, the sexual chemistry is at an all-time high during this season usually, but there is a tendency with this moon in particular to maybe be a little bit too aggressive in pursuing your new paramour, or going after who you want. And there's also a risk of entering in a relationship at this time with either someone with addictive personalities or abusive personalities. So definitely guard against that. It's also a time you want to guard your health. We are still in the middle of a pandemic and it is not over yet, but also it's regular flu season. So watch out for colds, flu, pneumonia. Watch out for accidents and injuries, especially things related to your eyes or your head, face at this time. Um, you definitely can use that extra spark, that magnetism, that sexy energy, and harness it into some really awesome and unique creative projects at this time. So channel it, but ride the wave out and really kind of think before you act too impulsively, especially in matters of the heart. Really kind of think through your consequences. Aquarius is known to be impulsive and just kind of maybe a little bit careless at times, and then with Leo energy, which is very magnanimous and very just kind of action oriented, and the lion, they're the king of the jungle, so there's no standing in their way when they see something that they want or prey. Be careful to be that extreme persona of that energy, because it's going to end violently, or with some serious repercussions. um there is, of course, always possibility for good energy and opportunities, but don't be pushy about it at this time. Let it come to you. Any goals that you want to manifest are extreme. Maybe be willing to accept half of what you want now, and then push the longer term, the extreme goal for a little bit longer term out, when it's a less volatile time to go after it. So the oil blend that I created for this full moon last year is certainly going to be very beneficial and work with the energies this time this year. The difference is last year, the energy was much more conducive to positive experiences from that extra electromagnetic sexual energy. And so this oil, it was created to support that. Thankfully, I also put some grounding oils in there as well that will kind of keep you from going to the extreme and keep you down to earth while engaging in those extra little kinky activities. So this is time, you know, if you are in a safe, committed relationship, that you can explore new taboo boundaries with your partner, and it should be a very enjoyable time, as long as, of course, you don't go too far. Use your safe words, guys. Okay. So, my oil blend that I created was called Sex-lectric Magnetism. You can just call it Magnetism if you want, because that is a mouthful. But it has all of the following ingredients: raven sarah and fennel, cedarwood and sandalwood, tea tree, jasmine, geranium rose, neroli and lang lang, cinnamon, patchouli, cardamom, palmarosa, and carrot seed. So most of those oils are either floral, or they're known for their aphrodisiac and creativity stimulating properties. There are also some grounding ones, even fertility properties, like fennel, lang lang, cardamom, and carrot seed. But you also have some grounding ones in there: raven sarah, sandalwood, and cedarwood, tea tree. They're all grounding as well, as is rose, as is patchouli, cardamom, palmarosa. So, again, overall, as long as you work and deal with the energies just right, you should be able to ride out the more intensity, the more crazy extremes of this full moon, in case you get into a situation that turns volatile. Either someone's being too pushy or angry. Just breathe, take a step back, and kind of think out the full picture of the repercussions that you might face if you push the envelope too far. All right, guys. So I will see you in another 2 weeks for upcoming new moon in Aquarius. That will be around February 11th. So until then, namaste, blessed be, and